Hier gibt es keine Sorgen, nur Freude, die durchbricht. Willkommen bei Ehrenlos, der König des Pop, das Gold. Wir feiern die ganze Nacht, bis der Morgen erwacht. Die Beats, sie treiben uns an, unsere Füße fliegen leicht. Wir vergessen Zeit und Raum, hier und jetzt sind wir frei. Wir fliegen durch die Sterne, die Welt gehört uns jetzt. Zusammen sind wir stärker in dieser magischen Nacht. Willkommen bei Ehrenlos, der König des Pop, das Gold. Wir feiern die ganze Nacht, bis der Morgen erwacht. Die Beats, sie treiben uns an, unsere Füße fliegen leicht. Wir vergessen Zeit und Raum, hier und jetzt sind wir frei. Wir fliegen durch die Sterne, die Welt gehört uns jetzt. Zusammen sind wir stärker in dieser magischen Nacht. Willkommen bei Ehrenlos, der König des Pop, das Gold. Wir feiern die ganze Nacht, bis der Morgen erwacht. Der Himmel wechselt von dunkel zu hell. Die Sterne verschwinden, es leuchtet grell. Drum gehen wir schnell zum Aiden-Lord hin, tauchen ein in seinen Stream. Wir lassen den Alltag hinter uns, mit jedem Klick wird's bunter und bunt. Versinken in Farben, vergessen die Zeit, der Aiden-Lord, er führt uns weit, er führt uns weit. Willkommen bei Aiden-Lord, der König des Pop, das Gold. Wir feiern die ganze Nacht, bis der Morgen erwacht. Wir fliegen weiter mit Ziel, ohne Plan. Der Bildschirm wird zum Ozean bunt. Versinken weit sind wir nie allein. Die Welt wird klein in seinem Screen. Spiel mit uns in den Morgen hinein. Lass alles los, fühl dich frei und rein. Gemeinsam lachen, gemeinsam sein. Der Aiden-Lord zeigt uns das neue Sein. Wir tanzen durch Pixel und Bits, vergessen die Schatten und Hits, erschaffen uns Welten im Takt. Alles ist neu, alles ist Takt.
Hol den Würfel, hol den Blaster, setz dich an den Tabaktisch, während wieder einer im Bunter-Eve durch den Canyon zischt. Zeit für Abenteuer, Zeit für DnD. So viel Spaß hatten wir noch nie. Es klirrt das Glas, es piepst der Dreit, alle stimmen ein in das Badenlied. 20 hier, dort ne 1, Langeweile gibt es keins. Vom Choruskant bis Alarm, die Stories hier sind abgefahren. Check die Luke, schleich dich vorbei, Zeit für ein wenig Hehlerei. Ist das gestohlen? Ne, ganz legal, obwohl es vorher von wem anders war. Hol den Würfel, hol den Blaster, setz dich an den Sabaktisch, während wieder einer im Bunter-Eve durch den Canyon zischt. Zeit für Abenteuer, Zeit für DnD. So viel Spaß hatten wir noch nie. den Blaster, setz dich an den Tabaktisch, während wieder einer im Bunter Eve durch den Genium zischt. Zeit für Abenteuer, Zeit für DnD. So viel Spaß hatten wir noch nie.
Ja, hallo und herzlich willkommen bei DnD. Das werden wir dann auch gleich in der Szene sehen. Herrn Jack Dragon und da ist, glaube ich, auch Corbin dann auch schon nur auf eine weitere Person. Wird dann sehr viel Englisch werden. Und häufiger dabei waren, die wissen, wie das abläuft. Ihr dürft gerne auf Deutsch weiterschreiben. Wird dann auch quasi per Chat antworten. Sonst Englisch stattfinden. Und ich hüpfe dann mal in den Channel rein.
All you're trying to
Hello.
do is explain the backgrounds and
So,
skill proficiency.
so you get that lore thing, okay, and that's different from lore master because your lore master will increase your intelligence score by 1 up until you get to 20. You also gain proficiency, another proficiency in the lore skill if you don't have it. If you're already proficient in it, you add expertise in it rather than just proficiency, and then so lore and lore master kind of stack on top of each other. They're not exactly the same. So
Okay.
um,
So you get to pick 2 skill proficiencies and 1 background feat, right? It says you can choose from the following feats. It doesn't say you can choose 2 or you can choose 3. So what I should be doing is I should be looking at the list of skill proficiencies and picking 2 of them, or is it just lore, medicine, nature, technology? Is that all of them? And then
you
once
pick
I
two,
pick 2 of those, sorry?
right? Yeah, you pick 2 of those, and then you'll go
Okay.
down to field research. Yeah, and you'll pick your field of research, and then yeah, your background feat. Yeah, you'll get. I think you just get one of the following, one of the background feats. So
Okay.
you won't be lore master and naturalist. You'll be lore master or medic or naturalist or techie or yeah. So you get one of the feats, but you get 2 of the proficiencies.
Okay. I'm
Except
gonna try to look around for where the proficiency stat differences are, but if you know exactly off top of head where I can just automatically go to, because once I pick lore, medicine, nature, or technology, I still need to know how to change my character sheet as a result of that. Or is it just a role playing thing where you just say I am proficient in this and there's no actual sheet change, unlike the background feat part?
no, because there is a benefit to having the proficiency. Let me find where it delineates that. Okay, so like it's just like being proficient with armor or a weapon or whatnot. So with it gets to this though, your proficiency in lore. But it really just wants to talk about weapons. Let's see here, lore. Sorry, it's taking long. Lore. No, that's not what we're looking at.
I have
Yes,
a
there is
wrist
a
pad and a
lore master, but not lore. So I think lore is well, okay. I'll just find it. You have a lore skill.
Oh, it's saying a proficiency bonus is +2, and that's hard added to the sheet.
Right. Okay. Lore, your intelligence. Yeah, there it is. So basically, yeah, your intelligence checks measures check your intelligence or lore check measures your ability to recall information about the force, artifacts, histories, and religions. That's for under intelligence. So anyway, that's under investigation. That's a different thing. No, it's under intelligence checks. Okay, so that's all the proficiencies under intelligence. Yeah. So
Okay,
that
and
would
then
be direct,
medicine. um,
that- directly to your roll, directly to your lore rolls, rolling dice, and then you would actually, since you get another +1 to your intelligence, and you get expertise on top of proficiency if you were a lore master. So uh,
Okay.
it'll be another plus to your rolls. Let's see what it's got expertise.
I'm definitely picking technology. That one goes without question.
Yeah.
Probably medicine. I think medicine would be the other good one. I'll fix you dumb idiots up.
At least someone who is a professional in this regard.
Well, that's the thing though. If your true passion is for robotics, the robots and that kind of technology, then yeah, you could probably be some kind of tech, yeah, techie dude. Let's see,
Tech
expertise 208.
tech dabbler.
Yeah. Okay, so where is my pager thing? 208. Oh my goodness. I do not like this new version of Adobe.
Advantages.
Ability checks. Let's see. Expertise. Blah, blah, blah.
Tech.
You only gain expertise in a skill or tool once. Yep. Yeah. Saving throw. Yeah. Features back.
I know 2 at will tech powers. I gotta go look at the tech powers now.
Yeah.
I know where to
Yeah.
find that I could do on my own. You don't have to walk me through that part.
Cool. All right. So I was hoping Ram would be here. Y'all did get notices, right? I did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From what I said down. Okay. I have to really work to catch him up. Okay. We will include him in being part of this. But all right. So you knew you had about, what did I say, 3 days before the slavers and um, your rescue platform, courtesy of the Animid friends that you have, might arrive. So, because you knew the Animals were coming within 3 days, and you knew there was speculation that uh, the slavers, who we'll just call them slavers, because that's basically what they're trying to do. Uh, I'm just looking at another update. Okay, no, nothing to do with what okay. Go back to shadows and stars. There. All right. So now it's, how do you plan to hide? How do you plan to make yourself invisible to the scanners that the slavers are likely to be using? But you do know that they got to scan a fairly good sized planet, and all you see around you is vegetation and water. So okay, lots of water.
Use the predator logic and cover ourselves in mud.
I just wanted to say that.
There is that. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's
Well,
4 of you.
that is okay for us, but the thing we do have is the fire, and the fire. I do not believe that we can take out the fire because we have to get a water filtration system.
Yeah, you've been using like what a type of distillation still to make sure you have clean water. Yeah, the bacteria are kind of, now. I mean, how much water can you store is the question. Looking at your gear.
Yeah, also, how cold is the night on this
Oh
planet?
no, you can probably make it through the night without any risk of. I mean, it's not cold. It's not particularly warm though, so you don't have. I don't think you're gonna have a problem with any kind of like hypothermia at night. There's not gonna be. I don't think any of that. Let's see.
Because I guess that is one of the biggest problems is the fire because of the smoke and the heat.
Right. You will definitely have a visible heat signature with a fire. It's going to stand out from everything else around. Uh, what you have. Some of it will be masked by canopy, like direct light. But yeah, let's face it. There's nothing that you know of that's generating any kind of heat signature akin to what your bodies are, other than other potential survivors.
Mm.
Now, I could be making a wrong assumption here, but I would assume that there's at least some larger creatures. Maybe there aren't. Maybe it's just only a water planet. But I would think that there's like still some like fish and stuff swimming around somewhere.
It's entirely, yeah. I mean, this you kind of get the feeling that this planet is in a stage of evolution that's you know there just hasn't been anything that's made it land wise. Let's put it that way. Because you don't see, like I said, you haven't heard any birds. You haven't heard, seen any tracks um, other than your own. Uh, you know, from all evidence that you've witnessed in the last, several days, or many days. It's been a few days now, hasn't it?
Guess
Or
one or
close to a
two.
week. Yeah. Um, you see nothing above ground. Now, as far as
All right.
underwater, yeah, you've seen what you've been able to catch, and maybe some bigger fish than the tiny ones that made you ill. But you know, you haven't seen everything. You know, you haven't been everywhere to see everything. And yeah, there are probably some very deep places water wise.
Is
You haven't
there
you haven't
any place that isn't so swampy that we could like dig into dry land? Or is it just swampiness everywhere?
in your relative location, you haven't noticed anything that as soon as you start digging, you get below 6 inches of digging, water's going to start seeping into the hole, like digging on the beach. So
Okay.
fortunately, you haven't had any kind of tides to raise the water level around where you are either. So, you know, in that respect, you don't have a moon at night, but you don't have tides to deal with that, make you want to have to climb up in a tree to avoid getting soaked, super soaked at night, or having to tread water.
Um,
Mm.
are we still using Google to do our dice roll?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Can I just do a nature roll to see if there's anything else that I might know from my intelligence that isn't just readily
Absolutely.
apparent? Sorry?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll.
Okay. Slash R 1d20. I don't know, is it like the other stuff? Nope, that's not it. Um, slash R d20. Nope, that's not it. Roll d20. There we go. 7. And then intelligence is +2, lore is okay, so it's natural. Well, okay, so my overall intelligence is +2, but then also that gives my lore a +2. So I think that
Right?
those don't add together, right? It's just +2 overall. Yeah, okay, that's right. So I think my total number is 9 for nature.
Yeah, generally, like I said, you don't know much more than what you've seen. You have, you know, because you don't see hills, you don't see any type of terrain changes other than trees growing, and you don't really notice any major height differences, like uh, one stand of trees in the distance seems much taller than the trees around you. You don't get the feeling that there's any type of elevation, severe elevation changes that could get you higher up.
At the risk of wasting everybody's time, can I use my jump jet ability to get above the tree level and then do a perception to see if
Sure.
there's any around us? Do I need to roll for the jump jetting part, or is that pretty elementary? Where if you look at the skill, you basically float back to the ground and you can automatically do a certain amount of jumping up into the air. I can
Yeah,
find it for you quick if you want.
that's fine. That's fine. Just do your perception, and we'll.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's about being able to visualize and sense. So
17 plus.
okay, that's good enough, because you do notice to the what you would call the north, since the light to the sun for this planet, if you will, um, does the typical east-west rotation. I think we settled on that. What you would consider north, there is there are some larger trees, but that's about all that you really notice as you jump and try and look around. There are some larger trees, but they don't necessarily seem taller. Um, but you do kind of notice a broader canopy among some of these trees that are to the north.
Hmm.
All right. I mean, I might as well say to the group, the trees seem to be thicker further that direction, which means there might be more land, and land means something easier for us, perhaps for us to hide under. I don't know if
Considering that
No, go ahead.
like like Earth's typical to the horizon visibility is what, 7 miles? You figure it's probably a 7 mile. How many what's kilometers? A mile is
I guess it
what's my
is close
conversion?
to 15 to 18.
Okay, so you figure it's about 10 miles, or I'm sorry, 10 kilometers to the north that you notice um, that kind of difference in the tree line from where you are. So yeah,
I asked the
that,
robot to ask our I can't remember their species name. I asked the robot to ask our new friends if they think that the person in the hammock can make that walk, can make that journey.
'cause, yeah, we said it would be well enough in that time frame. Sorry, I got stuff jotted on 3 or 4 different pieces of paper. Okay, yeah. So CK119 does respond. Yes, Master Jarek, who is injured, feels comfortable with moving, although he may slow you down. But the movement itself will not be problematic.
All
Okay.
right. We'll bring the hammock with us, and we can always carry him in the hammock if we absolutely have to for short distances. But for now, hopefully, we can just go with him slowly.
Do we have something to get the water into? Because that is one of the big concerns right now.
I mean, basically,
We
you've
boil.
been using what, whole fragment or something, right? Plus, you got some water bags, I guess, water skins, if you will, kind of collapsible cubes. So yeah, you have the capacity to carry about 2 gallons per person. The animals actually really don't require as much water. They can drink the water straight from the ground.
Hmm.
They're not affected. You guys, a little more susceptible to
I
the
always think of those
bacteria.
movies where they cut their sleeves off and tied both ends of the sleeves and turned their sleeves into water bags.
It doesn't, yeah. It's not entirely waterproof, but yeah,
For some
it will.
reason,
It
in the
will.
movies, it always is, though.
It depends on, it always depends on what the fabric is, right? Because if you're talking more of a space sci-fi type, those things should be more waterproof. So making a water sleeve, if you will, is entirely feasible. Now, go back to gladiator days, and no, you got to have some kind of wine skin or water skin because they just didn't have very many
Mm.
waterproof fabric. So okay. So we're gonna move to the north. Let me roll a couple of things.
Romans didn't have moisture wicking technology.
Ooh, nat 20. Okay. So on this one, that means. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. It's okay.
If
Let's
anybody has
see.
better ideas, feel free to speak up. If you're like, no, going to the trees is dumb, I know what we should do. Feel free to.
Right now, it
Let
sounds like
me
a
know.
good idea.
Okay. Cool.
Because I also think it is more dense. Because I don't know if our location is 3 meters, 3 meter nothing tree, 3 meter nothing tree. I guess with the other thing, it's more like 1 meter nothing tree.
Okay, so I need
I
a
hope, at
perception
least.
check.
Perception check.
From everybody?
Yep, from both of you. Yep.
Okay. 19.
Oh, nice.
17 again.
Awesome. Okay. So it doesn't surprise you at all, because as you're moving through basically this swamp, as I said, you haven't noticed anything with tracks except for you see before you basically what looks like a solid track through mud that's probably about as wide as your hand. If you were to do your hand like that, and it makes a kind of motion like this across a patch of the mud, and you kind of see the tail end of the creature that made this path just jutting out from a small upgrowth of grass about 3 meters in front of you. So you see the tail of what's making this path that's about a hand width wide, slithering into the tall grass in front of you, about 3 meters away. What would you like to do?
Get behind Corvin.
I put my hand out and say, crikey, oh, she's a beaut. Look at her in her natural habitat.
I step away from you. I'm keeping my safe distance. That would be the first thing. My character would shiver a little bit and be like, "You go, you."
The animates freeze. They just like, they're kind of standing there wide-eyed, looking to see what y'all are going to do. And I mean, they're making no sounds whatsoever. Let's see, what would Rand do? Rand, because Rand's a warrior type, right?
If only I had a regulation form for this thing.
It's a scout, so he would have noticed this thing right away too. All right. Yeah, Rand pulls out his blaster.
I don't know. I'm torn. On one hand, I don't think we need to fight this. We could just hide. But on the other hand, I'm hungry.
The thing is,
Well,
it was hand wide, not hand long, right? Question is, how long is it? And I guess the mouth is not big enough to eat one of us, with only being hand
you see the
wide.
tail. tail, and it's about like I said, it comes to a point, but it's a sizable tail, and you know,
I try to
ob-
think of something that is this big and tries to eat me.
it leaves a trail that big anyway. Yeah. So,
So that is the question: how big is the head of the thing?
Rand,
How big is the body and how big is everything else? So that is one of the things I'm curious about, but also like, get the fuck out of there.
but it's on the path between you and where you want to go. So
Mm.
Can I don't know if I want to just stop for nature rolls every time we encounter something, but at least for this first time, can I roll for nature to see if it gives me any additional information? Or I guess I've never been to this planet, so how much could nature even help me?
well, you can infer from other experiences.
All right, we'll give it a shot. I'm gonna roll for nature. Or
Right?
is that what I would roll to understand an animal to like try to see if I know
That
anything
would be
about it? Okay, rolling for nature. 2. So 4 total.
this thing's big.
I try to roll for uh nature also.
Okay.
Might as well.
17. I don't know if I have any bonus. Because it
You
was
won't need it.
intelligence, but yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
under
guess
intelligence.
this would be the equivalent of about a 15-foot anaconda python type snake on another planet. So yeah. So
Okay.
there'd be plenty of meat, but there'd be plenty of head likely too. You don't know what the head is like. And of course, like I said, this is the first creature you've seen of this size above ground since you've been here on the planet. So this and it's starting it's moving. I mean, it's not going to sit still and wait for you. So the tail now has kind of disappeared into the grass in front of you. But you can still see movement in the grass as it continues on its way.
And there were no other footprints, right?
No footprints. It's just this slithering track
Hmm.
about handspan wide.
So no wolf, cat, stuffy thing like that. Okay.
Hmm.
I whisper, what do you think we should do?
Asking who?
I'm on just because right now only Aiden Lord's character is here. I'm just whispering to him.
Gotcha.
Oh, he might not be here right this second. I
Ah.
propose I propose we stealth and proceed forward slowly with caution away from where the track is. That might be a
Okay.
missed meal, but at the same time, better for safety at this point. Somebody getting poisoned would be
All right.
bad.
So man being a scout, he can let's see.
Yeah, okay. I guess it makes sense, but I stay behind you all. I'm
Okay.
doing the rear
Rand
guard.
Rand he's holding up his hand and he's moving forward slowly. You can tell he kind of has a grasp on what's going on with this serpent, whatever you want to call it, and watching it moving ahead slowly. This kind of slows you down about, I guess, a quarter speed, and all of a sudden you hear kind of a splashing sound, and Rand's looking about. It's in the water. Down. He swam away. So do you want to proceed? And said he thinks it's safe to proceed forward now, but yeah, uh, So, yeah, that'd have been a lot. That'd have been a lot of meat, I think. But so you're ready to proceed again, and then
I try to avoid the water as much as I can right now.
yeah. So it's kind of hard to on a swamp planet, but yeah, you can tell from where as you pass through the grassy area, you can see the track of this creature, and it's like it comes out of the water for a while and then kind of slides around and then goes back into the water. Uh, since you
Does
didn't
it
see the head, you don't really know if it's an air breather, if it's a water breather, but uh,
when it
yeah,
comes out of the
big.
water, does it seem like it's always going to a particular place?
Oh, you can't tell that. No, it seems pretty random. This encounter. Um, it's just you don't know if it's out there just getting its belly tickled by tall grass or if there's something that it is trying to find out of the water. But it's there and it's big now. That something much bigger than the tiny fish exists uh, on this world. But again, you don't know if it's amphibious or purely aquarian.
If this starts being a waste of time, I'll stop doing it. But can I roll for perception to see if there's any sign of a nest around wherever the
Okay.
slithering has been? If there's some tall grass or any indication that maybe there would
Mm.
be a spot that is been actively traveled to by the snake type scenario, or where there's anything that would give me an indication, maybe like a bigger tree, something that I could go over and look and see if maybe there's because I would think the snake would mostly come to the surface when it wants to lay eggs. Those would be tasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have that done the same normally, but not with my character. Character is too scared.
Sorry, but Rand rolls a 2 on his search, and your perception, yeah, there's really nothing there. Um,
Okay, no
you
worries.
kind of get the feeling this thing lives below the water and just kind of is making these little short sojourns, outings into the dry land for whatever reason. Like I said, either to feel sun, feel something different. Who knows? Maybe it was trying to escape something bigger than it, and you know the good thing that is the bigger than it thing didn't come out of the water. So um, that would have been awkward. You'd be looking at this thing, and the thing behind you is, yeah.
I apologize. This is a bit of a recap, but are we actively hiding right now from the slavers? Or do we just know that they're out there somewhere and they may or may not be looking for us? And for all we know, they've already moved on.
You've got a feeling because of what CK119 says that yeah, they're probably going to come looking for the remnants of their ship and any survivors because that's what they do. They're adamant on trying to collect a number of species for their its project. Uh, and y'all were unlucky enough to be caught in their net. They're doing this in a very stealthy kind of um, manner. So you don't know if they're affiliated with some larger group, but for some reason they're trying to collect a great many different species to bring somewhere in this really off the beaten track quadrant. And then for some reason something went haywire with an engine and series of explosions caused that ship to plummet towards this planet. So there is an active, according to CK119, there will be an active search and recovery effort by the slavers.
Hmm.
And just
And
also to
you're
recap, we're waiting for the allies of the two people we're with to show up and pick us up before we get caught.
Yep. We were
Whoever all.
able to get a signal out, if I can remember correctly, with CK119. But it
right,
was an open communication thing, I guess.
right.
Yeah, it was just the
It's
two people.
right, and your rescuers are coming from Coruscant, so it's a bit of a distance, but they are en route.
All right, this sort of goes without saying, but as a tech person, I check CK119 for any tracking devices, just to make sure we're
Okay.
not stupidly dragging around something that makes it really easy for us to be found.
Okay. You don't see any trackers, aka the plug on type. No because he's actually been an active participant, an employee, if you will, of the slavers as a tech repair robot, um, maintaining systems and such. But he feels no affiliation to defend them or continue serving them, considering that he feels just like chattel, like a possession rather than any kind of what would you call it?
Camaraderie.
Yeah, he's not part of the family so much as he is, just on the roster.
Hmm.
All right, CK, we're gonna trust you.
And you've done very well to repair him and make him feel far more desired than he ever really did with the slavers. So he's okay with helping you rather than them. And he assures you, I have no sensible tracking methods that the slavers could attach to.
Do you have any advice for how to avoid their scanners on the surface of the planet?
It would take a great amount of the mud from here to shield from. And one of the things I just noticed in scanning this mud, it has an elevated iron and silver content, which would be very beneficial for shielding from scanning rays. Any type of electromagnetic scanning rays would bounce off of a 4 to 6 inch layer of this mud very easily. You
All
asked.
right. Yeah, very interesting. Good to know. It was the Predator after all. I'm ready to continue our journey,
All right.
Yep.
unless you have other feelings.
Mm-mm. Also, I'm ready to continue.
Okay.
Find a place.
Okay. So all in Ran. Ran's kind of leading you towards what you saw. Um, so that happened within about the first 2 kilometers. Yeah, first kilometer, you came across the slithering thing. It sank back into the water. Um, you make it, yeah, you make it about another 5 kilometers, and what's his name? Jarek signals that he needs to rest for a moment. He's the wounded one of the Animids. So I did put that. Put his name in chat, didn't I? We have a chat, right?
Hmm.
The wounded alien is named.
Jarrak. One was Jarrak, the other one I did not.
Yeah,
But
Jack, Jarrakk, and then Therain, Therraine. They are both of the House of Narok, Narroc. And it doesn't really mean anything to you now, but the fact that they have a house name uh, kind of speaks to, and they're actually able to command a rescue ship to come get them, you know, uh, from the former capital city. Uh, Kind of speaks that there might be more to these guys than you know, even the slavers knew about. But the Animids have been collected for, I mean, a long time. People have been fascinated with the non-verbal aspects of Animids with their sign language. Um, you know, They've got this kind of purplish blue skin that's almost translucent. Um, while they don't seem like fish people or squid people, it's like, how do you get to be like this? We remember Akbar. What was Akbar? I can't remember what his race was.
Mon Calamari.
Yeah. So he's not calamari. Calamari like he's. I mean, the Animids are somewhat. They seem like they could be related, but it can seem very different as well. Because yeah, they come from Yablari is their home, but so not calamari. But anyway,
Work.
and they're very good with technical stuff. So yeah, these two not so much for some reason, but yeah, as a race they're renowned for their technical innovation and also being pacifists. So yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
So you're making your way. You get about another, like I said, y'all traverse about 5 of the 12 to 12 to 15. You're not sure exactly how far that you're going. So you find a nice little paddock under some trees. Um, looking ahead, though, it seems like there's a big gap in the tree line between. Let me turn that off. That'll be happy. Let's stop streaming. Okay, there we go. No, that's not what I want. Okay, there we go. We're back, right? Okay. I thought I lost y'all. Okay. All right. So there's a big gap. Looks like there's a lot of water between you and the next. I guess maybe about 20 meters away. You see this gap where the trees stop. It's just water, and then it's quite a ways, probably almost almost a quarter kilometer before you see trees and again.
And so is it all water or is it like swampy land?
Looks like water. I mean, you can't as you approach it. I mean, you guys probably go and look at it, and Rand goes ahead as well. And yeah, you're looking down. You can't see bottom. It's kind of murky. It's not like I mean, it's fairly clear for about 6 feet, but then you don't see anything below that. So and it's kind of a drop off. So and it goes pretty much as far as you can see to the right and as far as you can see to the left. So there's a river style gap between you and the next uh, land mass, if you will, swamp mass ahead. And it's like I said, a quarter of a kilometer is what 250 kilometers, so 250 meters. So about size of 2 soccer fields, right?
Mhm.
Two and
Below
a
it.
half.
Yeah. How's your swim, guys?
On
I don't want to.
a planet that is a whole fucking city, I guess my swimming is not that good.
Are we assuming that the signal CK-119 sent is just going to let the ship know to land on wherever we are? Or are they specifically going to the coordinates that we sent the signal from?
I would say they are trying to get to the signal where it was sent from, and that we have to do something to communicate. So ironically, we need a fire for maybe smoke signals, but then again also have to hide the fire because of smoke signals.
Are y'all
I'd
having this
say.
conversation out?
Yeah.
Well, I
Okay.
would assume that we as Star Wars people and me as a tech person would actually know how signals work. So I'm asking out of character as a matter of
No.
practicality.
I'm just wondering if is this a conversation just directed to me, or is it or between y'all, or is this actually a conversation between characters? Because
I
It
guess
was
character
originally
was.
direct.
okay, y'all gonna have this conversation between characters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, swimming is not my fortitude. I'm coming from a planet with no water at all, but being a big city. At least I have not seen water, except in my drink.
Well, I mean, it's funny because Rand says in his bio he's from the general civilization, but ranks of the common folk. You fit well, but find a place. But yeah, I mean, he does seem to be pretty well a scout, but I don't see his uh, s- his skills on swim. So I don't know what to do about that if that's going to be an approach.
Hmm.
But CK119 does clarify, since you brought it up, that he can emit a homing signal that will be scrambled to anybody but um, the House Narok uh, ship that is coming for you.
All right.
But I mean, somebody else will know there's a signal. They would have to work to actually decode it, but they could probably, somebody with a high enough level of technical innovation could sense, triangulate, especially if there's enough of them, where the signal is originating. They wouldn't be able to understand what it is, but they could find its origination if he broadcasts for too long. So he has
What
been
kind of
cautioned by Jarek and Thorane that he should refrain from broadcasting in the open until such time as he receives a hail from the House Narok ship.
droid is CK119?
He is a class 5. What do we type of droid did we call him? Did,
S5 rings a bell.
find it. Yeah, I think I need to make more pictures. Let's
Yes.
see here. Yeah,
I can just Google class 5 if you want me to.
that's fine. It should be in the player's handbook as well, but droid, okay, droid. There you go. Come on. I don't know why this thing gets hung up. It's checked. Okay. Yeah, there is droid. You know it. Okay. Not that. Because there we go. Nope, that's force powers. We don't need that. We like that, but no. Let me pull up this other one. Here we go. Species droid. Oh my gosh. I don't like these things some days. Assets. Here's species. Why? There is to a droid. Hmm. Okay. It's not working out well. Did I get a picture of him?
There's only like 4 droids in all of Star Wars. There's the C3PO humanoid looking type. There's the R2D2 type. There's the floaty boy like in the Hoth probe type. There's the
This,
little car dudes that go cruising around the Death Star and squeak at everybody.
Ah, the mouse
this
boats.
would be our droid, yeah. This would be this would be like a miniature version of your medical droid. Was it Queso or what was it in in Rogue One. Yeah, queso. Queso. It would be a short version of that. Uh, Almost maybe 1/3, because he's not more than a meter. Um, Definitely not more than a meter in length. And I swear I had a picture of him. What did I do with it? And he is white in color. I mean, because his function has been uh, technical. He's wiry, like wires, basically frame and wires. So not like 3PO. He's not fleshed out bodily like that. Uh, but like I said, kind of like the medical droid. Um,
Humanoid in shape.
but yeah, generally, yeah, he has 2 arms, he has legs, and
But would not be able to handle the water even if we put him on our back, or would he be able to be waterproof?
I guess as I found him in water, he is kind of waterproof.
Yeah,
yeah,
would be, bro.
he's generally space proof. So yeah, he would be waterproof as well. Where did it sound come
I mean, I had to dig him out from
Right, from the
the
mud.
muddy
Yeah,
water.
he had a broken arm, or he broken construct and cable on his arm. So all right, but yeah, I'm sorry I don't have a picture of. I will fix that.
No worries.
But yeah, he as a class 5 droid. I mean, he has some aspects of a personality, but he's not. He is a subservient type of droid, not. Uh, he wouldn't survive totally independent for very very long. Let's put it that way.
Yep, yep. It's
And
got the 3PO.
his, most of his life has been inside. So yeah, working inside of ships. So
So I need to keep Rand alive because otherwise I'm dealing with 4 cowards here.
okay, I like that. Okay, Aiden's not a coward. He's just, you know, he's not a country boy.
Well,
Yeah.
my character is kind of a coward.
Got room for growth.
He tries to be brave, but oftentimes his old habits get over him. So
As long as he keeps his comic dry, it'll be fine. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
yeah, the comic is important to try to become more brave.
There you go. So we're at the river. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I'm open to suggestions.
Uh,
CK to
yeah.
ask the two companions if they have any thoughts.
As CK's conversing with them, um, it's funny because you can hear the click noises he makes for them, or the vocal noises that he makes for them, and then they respond in sign language, which he understands.
I mean, the question is, do we have to get to the other side? I do not think so.
No. Yeah, that's where I'd say I'm leaning towards not trying to go across.
Yeah.
But I just want to ask everybody their thoughts and opinions first before being like, okay, I'm deciding for everybody.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it does not make sense to try anything too elaborate, try to get over. And let's say swimming as an ability for me, not a good idea. I guess I would not have the stamina to get through to it.
so the suggestion from CK119 is you could fashion small floats out of significant portions of local trees to cross this barrier. Jirac and Thorane are very comfortable in swimming the distance, and lead whatever floating construction you make across as well. They feel very safe in their capability of doing that, if that is your choice.
Also,
So yeah, there's enough trees y'all could cut down,
I
some branches, some trunks, and float across if you wanted.
have to say I'm also scared as a character of what is in the water because of that giant thing we found.
Oh, did
And
that spook
also
you?
how deep is the water? Fischer,
But you
wie
can
tief
be
ist
one.
das Wasser?
You can be on the
Okay,
raft.
yeah. CK119 speculates that the depth is probably close, could be anywhere from 10 to 100 meters in this gap. It's almost what he feels would be considered a continental plate, a tectonic plate uh, juncture between two
Mm.
quote unquote land masses, and that's why there's this water gap here that doesn't seem to exist in any previously experienced area.
Mm.
I'll leave it up to you, buddy. I'm fine with building a raft, and you can stay on top of it, and CK can stay on top of it. And I need to go back and look at exactly how jump jets work. I don't know how much that'll let me stay floating above the water or not. And if they're comfortable in the water, it'd be pretty easy for us to make the swim with some of us above, some of us below.
So, okay, the jump jet thing. Let's look at that.
The thing is, you also had up some of your fuel.
I think it's just an ability. I don't think it's technically that I have jump jets.
Right. Because this is from, is this like a first level technician thing?
Yeah. Where are the powers? It's not a tech power. Maybe maneuver? No. Classes, engineer.
So I guess we are level 2 right now, so that's also a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going back to the character creator, I guess. It's
Mm.
in there somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it on these books. Let's see here. Hmm, missing. Okay. Let's see here. Jump.
You boost yourself, so it's casting time is one bonus action. Range is
Yeah.
on self, duration instantaneous. You boost yourself through the air with a brief surge of repulsor energy. You can rise a number of feet equal to 20x your tech casting ability modifier, and you can move a number of feet horizontally during any part of the movement equal to 5x your tech casting ability modifier. At the end of the turn on which you cast this power, you float gently to the ground if you are still aloft. And so that part's kind of interesting too, that it saves you from falling to your death if you can
Yeah.
use this ability.
So basically, it's a modified Iron Man kind of thing because you're using repulsor technology. Okay. All right.
When you cast it
That's
using a second modifier, it gets more powerful.
Yeah. Okay. All
So
right.
how do I determine
Yeah.
my tech cast ability?
Yeah. So it'd be your level basically, right?
Um, my character level?
I thought that's what that would be.
Your tech casting ability is intelligence. Is what it says under tech dabbler.
Oh, okay.
That tech dabbler, I don't know what it would have otherwise been, but it changes it to my tech casting ability is intelligence. And then the skill proficiency technology, does that also increase tech casting? I don't know if it does or not. So it's at least 4 because it's at least my. Wait a minute. No, it's at least 2. Yeah, if my tech casting is my intelligence, I don't know. Do they mean
Oh,
my base intelligence or do they mean my intelligence modifier?
that's what I'm trying to. Where is this? This is under technician. It's not. That's backgrounds.
Just gonna Google in Star Wars 5e. How do I find my tech
There you go.
casting?
So, okay, so it's okay.
Okay, you use tech focus like a wrist pad and
Yep.
manage tech points, but we're not going to need to do that for this. This is just using it as a basis. So yeah, okay. Your tech casting ability is usually your intelligence.
Yeah, your intelligence. Yeah. Okay. And yours is what?
Well, I mean, this is going to be ridiculous then because my base intelligence right now is 15.
That's fine.
So that
Yeah.
would be for a jump jet. That means that I can jump horizontally 5 times 15. So I can horizontally jump 75 feet. I can just leap 75 feet forward as an action. That seems hilarious. And
That's
even I
pretty
can go
good.
even higher in the air.
Yeah. That's fine. Bet. I'm trying to find where it is. Yeah.
I'm fine with just using, at least for this. If some of the other ones, it seems more obvious that I should be using intelligence. But for this, I'm just fine with using my intelligence modifier. Instead of it being 15 times 5, we can just do 2 times 5, where I can jump 40 feet in the air and 10 feet horizontally.
No, I
If
mean
that's what
using
you're.
your no. I don't have any objection to that at all. That's fine because that's what this does. I'm trying to figure out. Um, this is this is something you build into your suit, right? Okay.
Well,
Repulsor.
because it's an ability, it's just sort of built into me as a person.
Okay.
Even
Yeah, I
if
mean
I
your
had no
aug.
clothes, you can still use your abilities even if you have no clothes on, right?
So you're
The
saying
tech
you could.
power.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Weird. All right.
I have
No, that's fine.
6 tech powers.
It's not going to get you across this river, we'll put it that way. But yeah, you can get up and see quite a bit. Yeah. So it makes sense that you would have been able to see a differentiated canopy of trees ahead, but because you would have been able to jump above the low lying, because those are only about 30 to 35 feet. So you would have got a really good eyeful um, by being able to jump that high. So that's fine. I'm good with that.
Am I able to make it even more cheesy where I do that jump, I land in the water, catch my breath, and as soon as my next action occurs, I do another jump where
That's
I
what I'm
can
trying to
just leapfrog
is
this instead because that then at least those predators in the water would have only one turn to snatch me up. They'd have to be like waiting to this and I mean to be fair, lots of stuff in the water will do exactly that. I've dropped a lure in the water before with no bait on it, watch 6 fish race right at it and snatch it in like the first 2 seconds, end up catching a fish without ever even having fished just by dropping something shiny in the water. So just I'm not saying it's totally safe just leapfrogging across, but it would definitely make scouting the other side a little easier for us If I could just dook 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 and get over there in like 3 or 4 of these.
That's the entire basis of fly fishing. So yeah. So yeah. You catch some good sized pike, on the fly day, yeah. Fishing up north in the
And
well river
conversely,
run.
if I jump into the water and immediately get snatched by something, you'll know not to go across the water.
You're kind of hoping it's going to be like the creature in the garbage compactor on the Death Star that doesn't like robots. Look, he doesn't like droids. No, I wasn't. Where was that? He didn't like droids. Was it the Sar? No, was it Sarlacc? No. Where did R2 get spit out at? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, that
Uh,
was on the Yoda
God.
planet.
oh, that's right. Yeah, it was in Dagobah. That's right.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking of the boat chase scene with all of the aquatic sea life right before they got to the Jar Jar Bank City,
Yeah.
where there
One.
was at the time what was a very visually impressive, like 5 minutes of the two of them trying to not get eaten by stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You want a faster bongo? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. A bigger bongo. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, all right. What's your plan?
Why don't you
I'm gonna
guys
grant you
go
the
ahead?
ability to leap out of the water because yeah. How many times are you able to do that per day? I guess is the question with the jump jet.
I would assume until I become exhausted. It takes one bonus skill action for me to do that. So,
Okay.
I don't actually know how the engine for Star Wars 5e works. Can we take multiple actions with like a penalty?
Well, see, you have a main action, you have a bonus action, you have a reactive or action, or is it action of opportunity if under certain conditions, and then you have your move action. So this is considered a bonus action, right? So
And so that
si- since you're not really in combat, you're free to use a bonus action or use it as your move action instead of as your bonus action. So we'll say that the leap from the water would be your bonus action. So you're really never in the water enough to be attacked. What are the odds of that? I mean, yeah, no,
I can
I don't think
roll.
that's.
If I hit a 1, then you could be like, well, we're gonna see what happens.
No, I think you're fine. Now we said it's about 250 meters. You can go, what do we say, 75 feet? So 75 feet is loosely 15 meters. You're gonna have to do this, what, almost 20 times. So here's what you got to do. I need you to uh, roll your Constitution. Da, da, da. So let's say 3, 5. You need to make 4 Constitution rolls to make it safely across without becoming fatigued.
Say 3 Constitution rolls. I'm
4.
gonna grab. Oh, did you say 4?
Mhm.
All right.
Because yeah, you're gonna have to make almost 20 jumps in this fashion to get all the way across to where it's not this river width. So you do risk as you hit the water, you do risk becoming fatigued after about 5 of these jumps and needing a break. So you would be in the water, and then you have to roll your swim. Um,
Would
while
I
you're
be
in the water.
able to hold smaller size, not a stick, like a smaller sized piece of tree branch? Would I be able to hold that in both of my arms while I'm doing this and use
Sure,
it at least as a partial
yeah,
flotation device while I'm going
that,
across so that if I do get fatigued somewhere, I have something to hold on to instead of having to tread water?
That'll work because most of this
Okay.
wood should be. I mean, it's all going to be waterlogged wood, so it's it'll keep you from sinking, but it's not like going to keep you on top of the top of the water. It's not going to be an easy. If you have 2 foot long trunks that are probably about 4 inches, 4 to 6 inches in diameter, that should keep you floating, but or keep you from sinking, but not necessarily. It's you wouldn't be skiing across on these things. We'll put it that way.
For sure, for sure. I just want one piece that I'm holding in both hands. Like just attach those two pieces together so that I have one big piece that's 6 feet long, 5 feet long, and
Yeah,
reasonably thick. All right, rolling for first one.
yeah. All right.
3. Second one. 3 again. Third one. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this right. 16. Okay, not 3.
I'm shortly gone.
Okay, so let's see here. 16. Did I lose y'all?
No, you're still there. And I wanted to make sure I mentioned to everybody else to start working on the raft while I go across and scout. But I
Okay,
think I
that's
think I mentioned.
yeah, because they
So
figure they're going to for 'cause I can't presume that Rand is a swimmer at this point. So between Rand and Jaylen, uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to. They're gonna want some kind of raft.
yep. I don't want to get back over there and have all 5 of them or 4 of them be like, "Hey, we were just sitting here waiting for you to get back. We were
And
watching."
yeah, CK119 doesn't float either. That's a problem for him. So he's gonna have to be on attached to some kind of wood that floats.
Okay.
He is totally dead weight in the water.
I figured Rand would be a swimmer, but if he's not, no big deal.
I
We'll
don't
still have me and the 2 in the water. That should be good.
I don't have anything that points to that. So 'cause I don't have his skill stuff. I'm gonna do report in.
Being
Okay.
just an ability, I don't think the lore matters, but for me, since I want to come from a family of people who augment themselves with droid pieces, I can kind of explain with lore the reason that I can do all of this weird ass jumping around is because I got stuff built into me that can
Okay.
do it.
Did you roll 3, a 16, and what was your fourth roll?
It was 2 3s and a 16.
Okay, I need one more roll because it was 4 rolls.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
I don't know why. You even told me it was 4, and for some reason my brain was like, no, no, it's still 3. 14 for the fourth one.
I want a discount. Okay. So this, I'm trying to remember, is you have to roll under for success, if I remember right. Yeah. Okay. Um, the 16 is above your constitution by, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Da-da-da. So the constitution, oh no, that's the wrong character too. Okay, here we go. Forward. All right. So yeah, everything but the 16 is fine.
I have a
Um,
+4 row for my constitution. I've got a
yeah,
+2 to my +4 saving. I didn't include that in this, and I'm just telling you the number I rolled. I didn't add the sheet
yeah.
stuff.
This is not a saving throw so much as it's an ability check for fatigue.
Okay.
So
Well, that's
um,
weird then, because if you need to roll under and my constitution gives me a +2, does that mean that me having a higher stat in constitution makes me less likely to succeed at something that I need to roll under?
no. That's actually because you've got a 20. You got a D20. You actually want to roll under because under is the bigger portion of the die. percentage, right? So at 14, you are, was that 70%? Um, yeah, you have 70% chance of success. If you roll over that, then yeah, you're in the 30% chance where something is amiss. So
Okay.
okay, so you all right. So you feel a little tired after that third one, the third jump. So you're going to be in the water for a little bit, and
Okay.
not even a full turn. But I need you to roll now your athletics, which is your strength. That's going to be that's your uh, swim check. Even though let's just say you kind of land and you're tired. So just roll a strength check real quick. So you
13.
have to
But then, so what should I do for my modifier then? My modifier for strength is +1. So should it by
there you go.
13? Should I just telling you 14?
No, because you're of this one, your modifier is going to be your athletics, which gives you a +1, which is the same as your strength. So you're good. You're good. Okay, because you just had to make you need to make 12, but since you have the +1 to athletics, you had to make at least you had to make 13, which is what you rolled, right?
Well, 14 if I add my +1 to athletics from
No,
having
you don't want
+1.
to. Yeah, but you're good. You're good. Okay. So you managed to hang on to the log, even though you're a little fatigued. You don't slip, and you actually make that fourth jump. Fine. Okay. Cool. Good. 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 So that's how we're testing all this stuff because, yeah, one tests you for fatigue, the other one is your recovery from the fatigue, and then your ability to continue on. So because you got to
I
manage your fatigue, you have to hang on to that log to keep from slipping off of it. So otherwise, you have to do a swim check. So that's what I'm kind of doing. That's how I'm doing.
Hmm.
I have only done tabletop with a system called The Future Belongs to Us, which is
Oh yeah.
a much different than the base. So for a lot of this, I'm like, do I add these two together, or do I just take one of them, or when do I, where? So that's a
Yeah.
lot of this is just this system I've straight up never used before. So there's going to be some really dumb questions where
No,
I'm
no.
like, can I use
As
my
long as
proficiency bonus on animal handling or something? You'd be like, why would you even think that?
no, because I've got a snake, and yeah. Well, no. Anyway. Okay. No, you're good. You're good. So yeah.
No,
All right. No problem. So you make the jumps. You get across. You can see it's pretty much like the other side, and you know nothing really differentiated. It's other than there's a big gap of water between you and them.
Hmm.
Do you want to
Okay.
explore any far away from the river, or you want to wait for them? Is the question.
Usual perception roll.
Okay.
Unless
Eh,
you're saying don't even bother with all that, I just told you there's nothing here. If that's the case, we can save ourselves time. But otherwise, I want a perception roll.
okay. Yeah. You don't sense anything really different, um, other than like I said, they seem like very they seem like different tectonic plates. The grass you see here is actually quite a bit greener than what you saw on the other side, which is more like straw. So that's about the only real difference that immediately comes to.
Does the ground seem more dense, or does it still just seem like swampland that is going to fill with water?
Still very squishy swampland.
Still just flat as the eye can see.
Well, yeah, you got the same kind of little groves of trees, and yeah, there's um, you'd have to go farther into it because trees do obscure your path as
All
you
right,
want to
yeah.
head toward the
Usual
river.
stuff. Jump jet straight up above the tree line. Do perception.
Okay,
See if I can see any higher terrain, because I assume higher terrain will be easier to build a safe encampment around.
yeah, you guys go
Yoda
up.
hut,
What's that?
like I said, Yoda hut style. Like he lived on that swamp ass planet, but he still found a spot to build his little ass hut.
Oh yeah, he probably dug some rocks out of the water to make his cave. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But
He could just like force move a bunch of rocks around, make himself an island.
so yeah,
Mm.
you gotta wonder where did he get all the rocks that he made Luke lift. If not from hey, you come over here, you come over here. We're gonna train the young one. So anyway, it's very similar. You notice you're much closer to the copse of trees that have the different canopy or differentiated canopy from the rest of the trees. But yeah, you still got probably a good 8 kilometers to go.
So
Is
there
that right?
was
Yeah. About no, I'm sorry, about 5 or 6 kilometers to go.
5 or 6 kilometers in. You're saying that there's a distant spot where the canopy goes higher.
It's not really. It is a little bit higher, but you just notice it's a different type of leaf structure that makes it look different from the other trees
Mm.
around it.
All right. Well, that's better than nothing. So I'm gonna do what I just did and jump my stupid butt back across the water. Report
All right,
back.
I need 4 Constitution rolls.
All right, bring in my trusty log with me.
Okay.
We got 7, 3, 4, 12.
All right. You make it easily this time. Not even giving close. You seem to have been getting better at this jump jet kind of thing. So all right.
I'm getting better at rolling dice.
So yeah, in the time you've been gone, they're probably about you got enough raft for one person um, to sit on. It's almost it's definitely better than Titanic. Although there was room for two on the door. This one you still only really have room for one on the door. But so if you want to keep adding to it, it'll cost you another probably another half hour or so to get enough branches. But that would get two people on the raft. The animid can hold the raft, and uh, so could what's his name? Oh, CK119 could attach himself to the raft and provide some propulsion. Actually, he kind of figured out that he could spin his feet to make a little bit of propulsion for the raft.
Good job, CK.
I-
Like where your head's at.
So
All right. I propose we spend just a little bit more time. We want this thing to be able to float real nice.
okay,
I also think so, yeah.
And I just want to report back to you guys that it looks pretty much just as flat and wet across there, which isn't super promising. But I can see that there's yet another terrain change short distance ahead. And so I propose we just keep going because the further we get away from the ship that they might be able to come back and find, I think the better chance we'll have of them not. We just want to increase the search radius as much as we can. We can't get rid of the ship, but we can distance ourselves from it. So I propose we keep going.
Yep. Sounds right.
okay. So yeah, after about another hour or so, you add enough logs to this thing that, like I said, it floats fairly easily. Two of you can sit on it, lie on it, whatever you want. The animids will like hang on the sides. You notice that Jirac, the wounded one, um, fairly good spirits now. Really, almost seems like he's enjoying being in the water. And you don't understand that at all, but anyway.
I'm thinking to
Uh,
myself, that's how you get an infection.
maybe, but
That's
for
my
him, yeah,
species.
One of
yeah,
those
it's your
funny
species.
snails.
Those things that, yeah, those things that can crawl inside of you that would, not be much of an issue for them. Anyway, okay, let's see here. Oh, that's not what I was looking at. There we go. Okay. I don't think y'all are gonna have any problems getting across. You do notice about halfway across, the water seems to get a little warmer, but that's you stay out of this. Wife just said somebody peed the pool.
That's what I was gonna say. Some large creature just relieved itself.
My first thought
Okay.
is lava?
And you would be closer to the truth there
Yay!
because
I mean, fuck!
yeah, no, it's as you can almost see a small line of bubbles that as you get around the halfway point, you kind of go back to that thought of tectonic plates, and you know there would be an undercurrent of heat, possibly from seismic activity. You know, where these tectonic plates meet. I think I'm using the right word. Continental plates, whatever. Yeah. But anyway, so but then as you continue on, the water, you know, gets back to being cooler, um, and you reach the other side.
Hmm.
Okay.
Everybody, let's relax. Take a minute.
Yep. Yeah. You're amazed at how much thrust little CK-119 was able to provide for the raft. Nobody, neither of the animals were straining. Uh, you did notice a slight current seeming to go kind of from your left to your right, um, but it wasn't anything that was difficult to overcome. And you pretty much are directly where you landed the first time.
Hmm.
Did it seem like the current is going out towards the sea from the what we saw when the plane was crashing, and we were looking out over the land and we saw a
That's
big body of water and then
generally it. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing in that big void of water, basically. Um, trees or nothing discernible other than the blue of water. So yeah, you kind of think that's where it's flowing, but it's wide enough that there's it's not a rushing kind of flow. It's a very gentle flow. But you're kind of wondering, why would it flow in that direction other than just general currents or maybe the heat of um, gaps in the plate, maybe motivating it a little bit.
has it rained a single time since we've been here?
No, it is not.
So that's weird too, because that's where most of the flow would be coming from, would be rainfall.
Well, I mean, you're talking about from a high to a low, but yeah, if you can't determine a higher ground to a lower ground, what's gonna, this river that I call it, could just be like I said, like a wide spot where plates meet, and there's no um, surface level to the physical of the plate. So
Word.
okay, so you're on the other side now. You figured from your jump, you've got about between 5 and 6 kilometers to go, somewhere around that. And okay,
Do you think the heat? And now I'm actually asking. I'm not asking you, Jack Dragon. I'm actually asking the group. Do you guys think the heat from that would be enough to mask our presence? That we could use something like naturally occurring warm spot where it wouldn't seem so obvious that we're there also.
CK-119 responds affirmative. The heat from the thermal vent would totally obscure your own body heat from most scan signatures. or signature scans. Need signature scans. You're gonna
We'd
get
still
all
Mm,
be
pruny.
vulnerable. Yeah, we'd still be vulnerable to things in the water and to anything that can see us. Like they could just fly over and they'd see us.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's a good idea to try to explore this water further to take advantage of this? Or since we already know that the mud can be protective, what we should do is just keep heading further inward? I'm thinking that we could even just take one of these thicker trees and start cutting it up in a way that lets us get above ground, and then we can start insulating the inside with mud where we can bring up buckets of the wet mud and put it up on the elevated interior that we've carved out of one of these trees. And it's not going to be comfortable. We're not making a home, but we could just make ourselves something that's slightly off the ground and is still capable of being an interior that we could be masked by and sit where we're not out in the middle of a body of water where an animal could attack us.
mm, mm. I guess I would try to get a little bit more into land, but yeah, finding a tree and make it our base sounds okay to me.
All right. So thank you for the information, but I think we're just going to move on from the vent.
Okay. Move on from the vent, you mean?
Yep. Keep heading towards the tree line.
Okay. All right. It takes you several. Well, it takes you a better part of another what? Let's see, 5 kilometers through swamp. Jade. I mean, it's funny because Rain doesn't seem impeded by the swamp at all, and seems like he can almost run through it where everybody else kind of trudges. Um, yeah, y'all make it there, and as you're approaching where you think this thing is, you notice it's not really even a tree or a set of trees so much as what appears to be this. I don't know. It's probably about 20 meters across, what you think is 20 meters in diameter, and it looks like a huge mushroom, but it's green. It's very different from everything else you've seen. And now that you get up close to it, you see that the top of it. You do one of your jumps. You can see that the top of it is actually covered with vines and what we would refer to as lichens, mosses that are growing on top of this mushroom to make it look like a bunch of other trees, but it's just this one huge mushroom looking growth coming out of the ground. You can see this from probably 30, 40 meters away. It's not the grove of trees you thought it would be. It's actually this humongous mushroom that's growing in the middle of this area. And it's still, the ground around it seems much more solid. However, it's not any higher than the surrounding ground, but it feels very different.
I whisper to everybody, I propose we avoid all of this and just go back and find the thickest tree we can and make ourselves a cubby. Because that looks like I don't know what's underneath the ground, and we're going to get our feet all caught up in some sort of crazy underground mushroom thing.
Mm, would also rather take a tree.
We choose the coward's way. We're going to hide.
Okay.
Well, that is the thing we can do right now. The best thing.
The um
Trying to hide and
all
survive.
right. I need a saving throw from everybody. Let's see. As you're making this, you Something smells funny. You don't know, can't place what it is. You got a
Fuck.
feeling it's coming from the mushroom, but
1.
roll me a saving throw. Oh my goodness, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Saving throw then? That's what's going on?
I need basically it's a fortitude saving throw.
Ugh, 2. And then
2.
hold on though, but I got the so it's you said fortitude or do you mean constitution?
Yeah, it's Constitution. Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so
nothing helps me with my constitution, so that is bad.
Okay.
so 6 total then. 2 was my roll, but then I have a +4. So it'd be
Right.
6 total.
Rand rolled a 16, and let's see what is his. His con is +2, so he gets 18. And let's see what our animate friends do. 17 and 7. Okay. So oddly enough, yeah, you feel like very lightheaded. You want to just kind of lie down, and it's all you can do is just to get yourself down to the ground without falling. And so you are asleep, both of you. Fortunately, Ran and Jack and CK119 are not so affected, and they drag you back towards the water. Um,
Still alive.
Yay!
Elsewise, you would have been consumed into the huge fungal underload. It dropped a bunch of spores basically, and yeah, you would have been consumed. Uh, you'd have been mushroom poop. Yeah, is there? Yeah, at some point, but no, you got out of there. Thank goodness there was enough of you to. Yeah, CK119 was not going to be affected, but yeah, his ability to actually haul y'all out is kind of limited. It would take him a long time, but fortunately, Jaden and not Jaden, Ran and Jirak made their throws and were able to get all of you out. So kudos on surviving that. This is a weird planet, man. As I was rolling this up, I was like, how can I make some dangers without there being creatures on this evolutionary style planet, evolving planet? I'm like, oh, fun guy. Fun guys are always fun. So anyway, you get back to the water's edge. And there's I found it. Okay, I found the window. All right. Sorry about that. Were y'all hearing that?
No.
Y'all didn't hear it?
Mm.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's an ad for mattress firm. I was like,
Mm.
which window is doing this? I'm not crazy. Well, I could be crazy, but that's a different issue. All right. Okay. So now you're back at the water. Roll one more saving throw. I just need you to beat a 3. Okay. On a Constitution saving throw.
20.
I rolled a
Huh?
3, so then if I get the +4, it'd be 7.
You win. Okay. So
I
this is
had a
just beating the
20.
nausea. Awesome. You are fully recovered from any nausea effects that persisted from the.
I got knocked down, but I got up again.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. All right. So live and learn, right? Stay away from the shrooms. And for all of your looks and stuff, Corwin. I mean, it's really deceiving from that distance what that looked like. It did look like it would be more of a group of trees rather than this one humongous mushroom that. But yeah, For some reason, it's the only one seemingly like this that you can see for as far as you can see. So this is the only thing that looks like this so far anywhere in the planet that you've encountered. Um,
Did it seem flammable?
mm, I don't know. Trying to think, is would it
All of
are
the
mushrooms?
like leaves and stuff that I was seeing, whatever made it look like trees, all of that
No,
brush.
but it's probably wet. It's like I said, this side is the side of the river is a little bit greener than the other side, so there might be some kind of symbiotic fertilization thing going on where um, the plants on this side just have more chlorophyll, or they're getting some different nutrients off of this plate than the other plate is getting, and so they're greener. And because of that, they seem to be wetter and retain moisture more than the other, so they would not be nearly as flammable as the straw stuff on the other side of the river.
Okay.
Mm,
I'm not a huge fan of burning stuff down anyway because it just be more obvious that we're here the bigger the fire we make. But I do like the idea of getting revenge. So
Yeah,
at
yeah,
any for now, if we can't burn it, I don't feel the need to try to do battle against it.
yeah. Burning a what does that be, about a 50-meter mushroom? Yeah, that would be I don't know. I wonder what kind of secondary high you would get from that. That would be kind of weird. But anyway, yeah.
Right?
You
It'd
and
be
then
chip and ball.
okay. I think you're supposed to dry those things first before you smoke them, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's not my milieu. All right. Um, so now you're back at the water's edge. What do you want to proceed with?
I still like plan A. Just let's
Okay.
find the tree trunks over here are thicker. Let's
no.
find one that's thick enough. Let's cut ourselves a little cubby and let's line it with mud. Maybe make ourselves a little thatch entrance. Like we could even use part of the raft that we just made and lean it up against the front and cover it with mud and just make
Okay.
ourselves like a complete enclosed dome that's as thick of the mud as we can make it.
Yep.
And then, other than maybe keeping an eye out for some more food and water, we're just gonna wait it out.
All
Yep.
right. So I'm hearing you like describe is either like a dome, like an igloo, a mud igloo, or a something like that, or I mean, presuming you're not going to make bricks. You're going to actually do more tent like with the wood, like I said, frame. I heard that part. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see, five of you working together. We'll say five and a half with CK119. Yeah, to fit all of you in somewhat comfortably, because you don't want to get like stir crazy in there, right? It's going to take you about 10 hours. So this will take you into after dark if you keep working on it. Um, is that what you want to do?
I propose we keep working through the night and then we can rest once it's completed. But if you guys want to do different, that's okay.
I guess my character would say that he wants to go to sleep right now because he dug out the droid, didn't had sleep till then, and is tired as of right now, but can do the morning shift for that.
Okay. Morning shift for him. Yeah, Brand and the other two, they can sleep or work as they see fit. But I want to get this started. Probably, let's say 3 feet up off the ground, whatever the thickest trunk is. Start trying to hollow it out.
Okay. All right. So if you're
So
going to do it in shifts, yeah, it's going to take you a little bit longer rather than applying everybody. So that's fine. But yeah, you're going to take it to more like 16 hours if you work it that way. Of course, CK119, he's available the whole time to help. Um, Jarek, who is, a little more I mean, he's back to being probably 90%, 95% of himself health wise. He'll chip in for as long as he can, but he only lasts probably about 4 hours before he's too tired to do anything. And but yeah, Thorane will hang in there with you, Corwin. So it'll be at least the three of you, CK, Thorane, and you working on this thing. Okay. I need to roll one perception check. Um, since the other ones are going to sleep, it'd just be you and Thorane, Corwin.
Okay. Perception
Well,
8.
I guess also.
And then
Okay. Ooh.
modifier +1, so 9. 9 total perception.
Okay. You see something poke its head out of the water by the shore, and it appears to be, I don't know, its head is almost as big as your head. It has, you can visibly see teeth in its the mouth, and it's basically a version of the serpent you saw earlier in the day, and it doesn't entirely emerge from the water, but it's got its head up at the edge and it's kind of doing this. Sorry, trying to mimic its head movement, and it pauses when it looks at Thorane, and he's jumping up and down, pointing at it, trying to get your attention. But you already noticed it as well. What do you want to do? Thoraine's kind of almost like backing behind you at this point, and the
What a
distance
cute.
between is about 5 meters. So it's
Just look at her. What a gorgeous specimen. Oh, I'm so happy to be here and be a part of this.
CK. Asks, what should I do? How? What should I do? He's a little confused at this point. He's hearing or not hearing, but yeah, he's seeing the animated nature of Thorane at this point and understanding that he's very upset, um, but has no idea how he can help.
What is Thorang saying, CK?
Uh, his words are that of danger fish, danger, as close as uh, his word is actually something I have never heard before. Dragon. I'm not familiar with this term in many of the languages that I am familiar with. I have not heard this applied to anything that looks like this creature.
I propose we all just get behind the log and try to make ourselves as small and least noticeable as possible. Stop working
Okay.
for now. And there's a trunk right here. Just I don't know if stealthing would really help at this point if we've already been seen, but just generally try to make it seem like we're, that nothing's going on over here. So that if it keeps looking, doesn't see a lot of movement.
Trying to find something I can animate with this. All right, now it's all right. You notice on the sides of its head, there's a flaring, and it dunks back into the water. And that's you don't see any more of it.
I'm gonna take at least a short period of time to try to stay up somewhere in one of the branches and keep an eye out for a short period. Just
Okay.
I see that it left, but I don't trust that it's gone yet, and so I'm gonna put a short, like an hour-long pause for myself personally on the working, and just particularly take a short break and find somewhere that I can sit and keep an eye out.
Okay. CK119 mentions that he does not sense anything. He did notice a particular sound that it was making. It was very high pitched, but you may not have noticed it. Uh, Thorane actually noticed it as well. So whatever this thing is, when it pokes its head out of the water, that noise becomes audible. But once it goes back in the water, the noise is not audible at all to either Thorane or CK119. So that may be a telltale that uh, and then CK119, when we were tracking it before, I did not associate that noise with the creature. Now that I have, I will make sure to alert you if I hear it again. And you kind of get the feeling that the rain will be jumping around as well since he was able to hear it.
You guys are so helpful. That's great. And so I say I'll go back to or decide to go back to work then, trusting that that they'll be able to keep listening and let me know.
Okay. Alrighty. So you get back to work. Thorane seems, a little calmer and, is actually able to help you quite a bit. Um, After, a good few hours, I guess. How long did y'all want to sleep?
I'm
Or
gonna
how
sleep
long do you
once the
how
structure
long do
is
you want to
finished.
let yeah, how long do you want to let them sleep is the question. After about 4
Whatever
hours, the rain shakes Jirok. You kind
what
of
whatever amount of time that they want to sleep is fine. I'm not trying to push them. W-
but yeah,
Right now, we need to get this shelter completed, but I don't get the sense that the pirates are going to be showing up in like the next 20 minutes.
yeah.
Mm.
So let's see, Ran. Yeah, yeah. If you allow him, Ran will sleep for a full 8 hours. So it's up to y'all. But that was his role. Um, yeah, Jirok gets up and starts helping again. He lasts for about a good, 6 hours. Because I said y'all were looking at 16 in shifted work like this. So let's see, went 4 and then 4. I'm trying to get this into the right stages. That leaves 8. So Rand will get back up, and then uh, yeah, you're able to complete an off the ground wigwam, if you will, or yeah, mud tent, and you're able to all fit comfortably, basically almost lying down in this thing. Um, CK119 circles it and is only able to detect a heat signature from the entryway. And he proposes that if you um, build out more like an igloo type of entrance, you will be basically undetectable when you're
More
inside.
more raft style thatch type stuff covered with mud.
Mhm.
Mm.
So takes you about another hour and a half to make that attachment, that adjustment, and you've got a perfectly uh, scan concealable habitat. Now, how long y'all can stay in it? Uh, because you're going to want to eat, you're going to want to drink, get water. You're going to, so you have enough water to, last. Like I said, you got about 2 gallons per person um, that needs water. Uh, Conceivably, you could put a straw out the bottom, and the animals could just drink right out of the swamp. But so the only water you need, filtered water, need be for you humans, and of course, CK119 doesn't need anything. Uh, hmm, that's good. Let's see. Ooh, nasty. Okay, let's see here.
Catherine, be right back.
Okay.
Still hear you though.
Well, I don't want to hear you. This is not that kind of stream. Okay, we're not streaming anyway. So, all right, good, good, good. Let's see. I'm trying to think. It's been 16 hours. Y'all traveled for a good day. Um,
Hmm.
it's really good that y'all finished this in this amount of time because it's almost a full. I mean, that was a full day into night, and back to day again.
No.
We are. Um, it's entirely possible that the slavers are scanning the planet as we speak. So I'm gonna roll. That's a huge. Wow, 3 in a row. Okay. And let's see, what would I? Yeah, this would be a survival one. So I figure, yeah, you could probably go at least an 8 hour shift without wanting to climb out.
Hmm.
2 gallons of water per person. That actually will last you more than almost 2 days.
Hmm.
It's a matter of where do you go to the bathroom? So that's the survival part. Because yeah, if you just put a straw out the bottom, then the animals are going to be drinking what y'all excrete, and that's not going to be very nice. They don't like that. They don't like that idea. So
I propose we poop at the entryway and let CK carry it and dump it outside.
yeah, but he's probably one of the more detectable, being the metal among this wood planet. He's every bit
Oh,
as
really?
detectable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For a
Then
lifetime. So yeah.
then I propose that we keep a covered receptacle, that we don't let it go down into the dirt, that we do all of our relieving ourselves into I guess what I want to say is a bucket, but we'd have to craft and fashion something to hold our excrement and waste and keep it separate from the ground.
All right. Roll 3 survival skill checks. So this is your wisdom modifier will apply. And it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, just roll your survival. You have to beat a 10. I need y'all beat 10 times.
First one is 2.
Yep.
Second one is 12.
Hmm.
Third one is 17.
No.
Okay. Hidden?
Oh, none of those had modifiers.
Okay, that's fine.
It. You need rolls, right? 3 rolls.
Yeah, three. It rolls using your survival modifier, which is under your wisdom score.
Okay.
So the
But I just
first
need you.
one is 6, and wisdom is +1, so 7.
Okay.
Then 17 and 12.
Okay.
7, 17, 12.
All right. Do either one of y'all want to volunteer to roll for Ran, or do you want me to roll for Ran? How much do you want?
I want to go grab a drink from my fridge. So why don't one of you guys roll?
Okay, I'll roll for Ran. Okay, 10. Oh, 13. and 12. All right. All right. So let's see here. The Animids don't have to leave. They're fine. All right. So now I need to roll scans. Since both of y'all failed on your first roll, if there's a successful scan roll, um, then y'all will have been discovered. Is how it's going to play out. But that's an if. Okay, so it's not a given.
Hmm.
See, I got to figure out what their success was. Okay, it only matters on the first one. No, and they failed miserably with a 5. Okay, let's see. Y'all saved on the other ones, even though they rolled great scans. Y'all saved against them. Very lucky, because yeah, they rolled 5 for the first scan, which they needed to beat 10 to catch y'all, and y'all because y'all failed y'all's, but since they failed their scan, it's a moot point. And then they rolled 17 for the next 2 scans. When they finished those 3 planetary orbit scans, they took off, and they took off in noisy enough fashion that CK-119 was able to ascertain that they are gone.
Hmm.
So there was a lot of radio chatter, and it was, since he's familiar with their systems, he was able to transcribe it, or not transcribe, translate it, and they found they found a number of other survivors from life pods, and they recaptured them and are heading on to their project world. But they counted that as the only survivors. So as far as they goes, CK-119's understanding is that y'all were written off as fatalities.
This have been a
They did,
totally different couple sessions had we been found out, where we would have been doing a totally different slaver thing.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. They have landing craft akin to um, think of Clone Wars. They could have brought in a troop of um, I don't know, capture troops. They would have tried to stun y'all and bring y'all back. Um, some of the traffic regarded specifically to the Animids, and not by name, but they were referred to by species. So it seems they were particular persons of interest in the recovery hunt. Which, if you figure there were several hundred other captives, I mean, probably to the tune of maybe 500 other captives on that ship, for those two to be mentioned by name or by species, you kind of make a mental note about that. CK-119 also relays this information to them. Now, it's a matter of waiting for the Animids allies to come get y'all. Let's see here. How long? Okay. In another 21 hours, um, a beacon is received, or a hailing frequency is received by a 119, and a ship it's a good sized ship. It's a medium sized starship arrives, and CK-119 relays to Thorane and Jarok that I believe their allies have arrived,
Hmm.
and
I shout, "We took the easy way."
Yay!
Um, the craft actually lands like right on the water, and uh, you see pontoons, and a small uh, boat basically comes over. It's like a large pontoon raft, and y'all are able to join them. They actually hug you guys, uh, and then when you get back to the ship, as I said, you can see an insignia on the side of it. So it's a marked ship. It's almost like a flagship for House Narak. Um, who is it? Yeah, Jaylen, you're from Coruscant, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Um, you recognize this symbol now, um, although it's more associated with animate language. But this was a very fancy, represented a very fancy building and estate on Coruscant, not far from like where Ambassador's Row is. So you get this feeling now. These guys have some influence, or they did in the old world, the Republic. So, um, and the fact that they still bring this nice ship. Let's see if I close that window, right? Because I was trying to get rid of the sounds. Let me see if I can open uh, Control H. Where are you? This one?
When
Yeah.
we're leaving the planet, I try to use their cameras and zoom in on that mushroom that was right there. And I tell CK, can you ask them to just destroy this mushroom?
Uh, um, okay. Well, one of the things that changes when they get back to the ship, they are provided with vocorders, so they can actually now speak to you,
Oh,
and
sweet.
you can understand. Yes. So uh, we are greatly appreciative of your efforts to keep us alive, and we have a proposition for you to remain with our house as long as you like, and we may be able to utilize your skills to further the aims of House Narok. If you choose to separate, that is fine. We will understand. But
Would you
we
be
feel
asking us to harm?
to harm. I say that again. I get cut off.
Sorry, go ahead and finish. That if we choose to leave, you go ahead and
If
finish
you
before I.
sure, if you choose to leave, you are welcome to go so freely, and we have a a gift, not of reward, but of appreciation for aiding us in the escape of the slave verse. We will give you information and goods to further you on your journey, should you choose to not stay with House Norok.
Goods and information would be nice, but I also like the idea of sticking around. What do you think?
This is not a decision you must make now. You have the entirety of your journey to Coruscant with us, as well as a week of recuperation as part of our gratitude in our house.
Hmm.
So yeah, let's see if I can find share this real quick.
My main question, well, first of all, I was going to ask Aiden Lord what he thinks. I need to know Aiden Lord's character, so when I'm role playing, I can use his name. I know one of the other guy's named Rand. What are you, Aiden?
Jaylen.
Jaylen. Okay, cool. The first question, as soon as they say we can join their houses, I'm gonna ask, are we gonna be expected to do harm?
You will choose to do whatever you feel comfortable doing. We have many business dealings that require different skills. I believe you can understand what that means. Not all of these business dealings would require harming anyone. Some merely are about persuasion, if you understand.
I absolutely understand that. I don't know, Jaylen. I'm thinking that we basically can trust these guys. They didn't seem to be disingenuous or selfish at any point, and I feel like that's a rare commodity in my experience. And so I would rather at least go with them for now and see what they have to offer. If it ends up being a crazy eyes wide shut type scenario, we can get out of there. But for now, it seems on the up and up.
Yeah, I guess also this is one of the better things right now to see what they are up to. Because oftentimes the enemies on Coruscant also were rather nice folk.
This is the type of craft that you're aboard right now. You know, it's not, and it's been made out to be more of a even though it's a freighter, it's been made out to be more of a luxury vehicle inside. So you know, it has some defensive stuff, but it's really not made to fight so much. It is to transport people in a somewhat luxurious manner. So anyway, I just wanted to give you that view of what y'all are in. So yeah, we'll see that.
As long as it can shoot one turbo laser at that damn fungus planet that passed. I want some revenge. But other than that, we're good. If it doesn't have a lot of weaponry.
You realize that doing so would be an interruption of the evolution of this planet. However, considering a large ship has crashed into its surface, that was also some type of interruption, I'm sure. I will allow you. You can talk amongst themselves. We will allow you 2 shots, one from each turret. You may attend the turret yourself to do so, and then we must leave this place.
Probably only need one. And I'd also like
Okay.
to point out the sentient life of the planet I did not mess with. This is not a sentient creature. This is a fungus. It's almost certainly incapable of higher thinking beyond consumption.
That is your understanding, and we were affected as well. Looking at Thrain, Jirok says it's looking at Thrain. You kind of get the feeling that Jirok is the more important of the two Animids, and since he seems to do most of the speaking, and but yes, he kind of taps Jirok on the shoulder, since he had to help drag him out. But Thrain, yeah, Jirok taps Thrain on the shoulder since he had to drag him out. So, as you wish, you have 3 minutes. So, anyway,
I rushed to the
take your
first
shot.
turret.
All right,
So
let's
roll
see.
for my first shot.
Yeah, roll to hit, baby. Let's see what happens.
When I
Let's
go to
see.
take my shot, I whisper to myself, like, don't you fucking step to me. Don't you ever step to me. And I shoot my shot. It's a
Uh,
two plus whatever my page is, so low, like a 3 or a 4 or something.
what's your okay? So this would be your dexterity, right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so 4.
Okay. Yeah, you take a chip out of the ground around it, but yeah, you don't really hit it. You want your second shot?
I'm gonna take it. I guess I need it. Here's my second shot. 14. So 16 total.
You make a nice size hole in the middle of the mushroom. Whether it kills it entirely, you won't know unless you want to hang around. But
No.
it is there's a big black chunk missing out of the center core of the mushroom, and you notice there's dust flying everywhere. So there's spores being released everywhere into the atmosphere. Um, thank goodness you're on a ship that's in low orbit at this point, so in the upper
I go
atmosphere.
running I go running down the corridor. I'm like, whoa, mushroom that motherfucker.
Okay. Um, all right. Let's see. I hadn't planned on giving you that. Okay. You know what? That's what we'll do. For your encounter with the eel, you'll each get 50 XP. The dragon, I should say, the sea dragon, whatever you want to call it, water dragon. Uh, for your encounter with the mushroom, you'll each get 200 XP. Because yeah, that could have been a lot worse than it was. And then for your evasion of the slavers, you'll get another 150 experience points. So that's 300, 450. Is that what it comes to?
350 or 400?
450.
Yeah. No, is it 150 and 50 and 200 is 400.
Oh, okay, you're right. 400 then. All right.
Just 400.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Oh,
currently at
level up.
800 experience.
That should be a level for you guys, right?
I have a level up.
I don't know what the next level is. I have 800 experience currently.
I had
Yeah,
100 more because I was getting
yeah, you
the
had the
droid unstuck.
CK119. Yeah. So you're at 900, Aiden.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep,
Okay.
that sounds right. Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Players. Alright. That is wild. I didn't realize the engineer got so many tech powers so quickly. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. This whole time I have tranquilizer, target lock, jump jet, flame sweep, hologram. So I can stealth myself, I can jump long distances, I can shoot a whole wave of fire, I can lock on to something, I can tranquilize something silently. That there's like, you can sort of craft like a full suite of skills where you have your necessary offense and mobility and defense all in the defense, hologram, mobility, jump jet, offense, the energy absorb, flame sweep, tranquilizer. That you can create a well-rounded character almost right off the bat.
Okay, so how did you not use target lock on the mushroom?
Oh, I can use target lock with a spaceship? Fucking A, okay. So
It's a weapon.
I
Within-
in my you're absolutely right, dude. You're expanding my horizons here. Because in my mind, I was thinking of target lock as like something I use in person with a gun. But you're right that I could just target lock whatever I fucking want to. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. That's I'll keep that in mind.
Well, okay, maybe your first shot you were just unfamiliar with the way it was set up because you hadn't shot one of these before, and your second shot was much better. So okay.
And then I think I'm gonna go back after today because we started talking. I didn't want to do it, but I think it said that because of my scientist profession or something like that, that I get to pick 2 more skills. So I'm going to be even more fucking abilities than what I currently have. I should be having. So yeah, this is a well-rounded character. It's probably not very tanky, but you get a lot of creative shit, real quick.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, you're on your way back to civilization, guys. We'll pick it up there. Probably be after the new year, right? Our next session would be. Is it the 3rd? No, not the 3rd. Come on, give me a. This. Yeah, if y'all are available the 2nd, January 2nd, then we'll pick it up then. And you get to be in civilization, and you have these Animids of the House of Narak to live in their basically in their nice guest quarters for a while. Figure out what you want to do with yourself.
It's like the Skyrim version of a guild.
It sounds like Morrowind with House Lalu, House Telvanni, House Radovan.
Yeah, so they're gonna like put us up and like give us quests and shit if we want them to.
And I would always kill the first Lalu guard I've seen because of the armor.
There you go, buddy.
Well,
The armor was.
all right, so and if y'all don't mind when y'all level, Aiden, when you level up, send me your character sheet and Colin. Does that get you? Is it 900 to the next level for you as well? Is that right?
I don't even know how to look that up. It would take me a sec. Like, so go back to characters and then look up classes engineer. Is that where it would tell me?
See levels here.
Engineer.
I'm trying to think about the same level.
Seeing where there's the proficiency bonus. Okay, yeah, and so it's just by being level 2, I should know a 7th tech power and have some different. Okay, so there's more going on here than I've definitely acknowledged.
Okay.
What did you ask again? What was it?
Trying to figure out if everybody advances at the same XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
you would need another 100 to get to the next level. So
Okay.
you'll have that, I'm sure, next adventure. And then it gets a little steeper after that, after level 3. So
Exactly.
and I've
That
got
100 experience point difference right now might feel like a lot because he is level 2, but in the future it's gonna not really matter at all. That I'm sure there are other times that
no.
Aiden Lord will be AFK and I'll be around, and then I might get extra experience when he's so it's not. Did you just say no? I'm always going to be around, but in any case, you get what I'm saying. Just that I have no problem with there being an experience differential. That you don't have to like create a scenario where I catch up to him or something. We're good. That
well, I mean,
if
there are some ones that like I said before, I want to take advantage of your personal backgrounds and skills to give you some little side things that will be particularly engaging to your character, your background, your persona, and then I need to write up last session's stuff. I don't know if y'all read my write up of the first session, but I plan on doing that because I haven't been recording it. And I really want to do
I
it
have
when we have all 3 of
records.
us. You have records too? Okay, that's fine. That's good. And I gotta figure out what's up with Rand. What's going on with our third? Because I actually have something for him, uh, both on Coruscant, but kind of hard to go back and do anything back on Mars planet, but at this point. But we'll figure something. And then, but yeah, I think when we get to Coruscant, there's going to be all kinds of directions y'all can go in. exploring your backstories. Of course, Jaylen, you were born there, so what lies in store for you? Yeah, your
Mhm.
family history. You're back in their bureaucracy, man. What's going to go on? So anyway, it'd be fun, I think. Um, I've got plenty of ideas, and we're going to start. One of the things with being back in civilization is we have the opportunities for some overlap with some of the other tables, and who knows how that'll work out because as we know, there's a much larger game uh, being played, and depending on where y'all want to go at this point, this is now your launching point uh, to make your big name in the galaxy. Because let's face it, the resources of Coruscant are practically unlimited as far as power, politics, military, intelligence, and a launch pad to other parts of the galaxy. So
That's cool. I've sat in on several other tables, and they are far more advanced. And just that
right,
they've been some of them have been going on for 6 or more months. And
right.
so these are well developed characters with incredible abilities that we would need to before we even want to try to really interact with what could be potential rivals. We would need to dramatically increase, and so I propose that at least for a time being period here, if we can get away with it, we should just stay a bubble, stay our own playing group, still flesh
Mhm.
out our own personal stuff, because once we enter that larger world, it's going to be more about how strong we are than it is about how good we are at role playing or what it is.
Yeah.
You
There
know,
is that, yeah.
it's not it's going to be subjugated. What everything we've been doing is going to be subjugated to that larger story at that point.
But remember, you don't have to kill everything. You just have to survive everything. So it's not a matter like your encounter with the sea dragon or the river, the water dragon, whatever, how it was referred to by 119 and the Animids. I mean, basically, it's an aquatic eel that's starting to explore land, right? Um, you don't have to defeat it. You just need to have to figure out how to deal with it. And there is virtue in surviving the encounter without um, without killing or um, being destructive because you learn from it, right? So that's how I've always played and game mastered. So
Hmm.
And then when you get the chance, you go back and shoot them from space. Come back with the howitzer and just machine gun them
yep,
motherfuckers.
Torpedo
there are
bomb.
those there.
Whoop.
Yeah, there are definitely those enjoyable moments of it's a cathartic moment. Yeah, that
Time for
gives you a
time
little.
for an exterminatus. If there's only one ear left, the planet is not purged, right?
So anyway, all right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you. I appreciate your willingness to go along and keep going on. And yeah, I wouldn't worry about catching up with those guys. I think we got plenty of different avenues to do that and enjoy the gameplay along the way. I think sometimes people get so caught up in leveling their characters quickly and trying to be combative that they lose sight of this is a role playing game, it's an RPG. So hopefully this is good for y'all and enjoyable, and we'll keep going and growing, and you have the opportunity to become every bit as powerful as anybody else in this large game.
And I'd be okay with bringing in other people if, let's say, the Rand person, he just never comes back. Then I feel like 2 is the bare minimum. That
Yeah.
three is ideal, 4 is okay, 5 starts to feel like too many.
Yeah.
And so bringing in 1 or 2 additionals, if in that becomes the necessity, that wouldn't bother me at all. Just something
Okay.
to consider for the
Yeah.
future.
Uh, Duncan does keep throwing people, saying, "Hey, this person wants to join." Talk to them, and I talk to them, and then they're like, "Okay, yeah, scheduling conflict," or "Oh, I didn't know it was going to be
Right.
like that." And like, well,
Yep.
so as it
And that's going to
keeps
be a lot
growing,
of people. They're going to be
it's
like, I
fine.
don't
Yeah,
have Friday open. That's
yeah,
just the way it goes.
yep. So we'll find somebody else. I'm sure. I'm sure more people will want to join. I'm actually starting to actively recruit. Um, and I don't want it to be like, no, you need to come to my table or whatever. I just want them to come join the game or consider joining the game. And whatever time frame works for them. If it works out here, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. But yeah, I so yeah, if you think of anybody that might be interested in, and they especially if they're newer to our role playing games, this might be a better table for them than maybe some of the other ones. But um, I'm not patting myself on the back for that, but I do like bringing people along and helping them understand. Yeah, we can role play, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to min max your characters. You don't have to have fun. You build your character and play it the way you want it.
That's fair. And I think I tried to min max my character, but I'm probably so bad at it that I didn't actually min max my character at all. And so that's
That's
where just people who are new, even if they are trying hard, we're probably still not going to be fantastic. Why didn't you lock on target to the mushroom? That kind of thing. It's like, oh shit, I didn't even realize I could do that.
I forgot
That kind of
about
stuff.
piloting.
Mm-hmm.
But it is in character that my character would be like, oh fuck, I'm scared. Oh fuck, I'm scared.
Also, the people who were piloting died terrible deaths, so maybe it's best.
That's the thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't I couldn't let the Wookiees be a part of the picture because that it really would have overpowered everything else. The Animans themselves had a very
Yeah.
special purpose. The Wookiees were escorting them, and
That's what I figured.
and when they all got captured, which was really awkward for House Narok, and actually it was actually very awkward for the Wookiees considering they were supposed to be some very very tough bodyguards. So we're gonna have you're probably gonna hear some conversations about that when we get to Coruscant. So
We succeeded where those Wookiees failed. That's the narrative I think we need to hear.
but you needed the Wookiees to get you where you were, so you could succeed. So
That's not the part we need to hear about.
okay, all right, all right. Well, with that, gentlemen, I'm gonna let y'all go, and we will resume on January 2nd.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks
All right.
again.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
night. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Ich verabschiede mich auch von euch. Ich bedanke mich bei allen, die vorbeigeschaut haben. Und dann schaut doch noch gerne auf dem neuerem Discord vorbei. YouTube und an. Und ich wünsche euch noch einen schönen weiteren Tag. Wir hören uns dann morgen am Nachmittag wieder.